Not content to cram a grotesque loot box system down Shadow of War's throat, Warner Brothers has decided to go full AAA with Shadow of War and has entered into a sponsorship deal with Totino's, a company famous for making pizza approximations. Tacky they may be, but these food sponsorship deals are not unusual. Every year Call of Duty normally throws in with Monster Energy or Mountain Dew, as does the Halo series. Halo, of course, loves its Dew and Doritos, but let's not forget that Shadow of War is being published by Warner Brothers, one of the worst publishers in the fucking world. So not content to just shove some sort of DLC as codes in Slim Jim wrappers, what they've done is stick codes for fucking in-game currency in these Totino's boxes. The battle for epic prizes begins 9/1. Get ready for a chance to win * Middle-earth TM Shadow of War TM Xbox One S bundle and more, and keep an eye out for on-pack codes that you can submit to unlock in-game gold. Score epic prizes, save Middle-earth, and enjoy some Totino's TM along the way. That's worth fighting for. In the meantime, conquer your hunger with the help of Pizza Rolls TM Snacks and Totino's TM Pizza. TM. This is all part of the Middle-earth Shadow of War official pre-launch program, which just sounds delightful, doesn't it? A pre-launch program. At least they're blatant with how cynical this is going to be up front. So as you probably know by now, well, you should know because I said it at the beginning of this video, but Shadow of War is getting loot boxes, which presents a new ludicrous step in the evolution of microtransactions in prepaid premium games. Because loot boxes are a shitty, nasty idea, and the game industry can't let a shitty, nasty idea go without evolving it and making it shittier and nastier. So we're getting loot boxes in single-player games now, as with Shadow of War. And it's not just cosmetic items for those people that defend the just cosmetic items. You get orcs in these loot boxes. The actual point of the game. The actual point of the game is in these loot boxes. These glorified gambling systems that, you know, we've had this conversation where people say, well, it's not gambling. No, it's not technically gambling, but it is, because you're paying money for randomized shit. It's a lottery of bullshit. Warner Brothers takes the piss more than EA, I think. For my money, if I were to pick the shittiest, scummiest publisher out there, I'd go with Warner Brothers every single time. They're just a nasty company through and through. Whether you're talking about Warner Brothers Interactive or the movie division, it's just a nasty little shit heap. And they've been taking the piss with microtransactions for a while, and pre-order DLC and season passes and online passes before that in the last generation. If there's a horrible industry exploit out there, you can expect WB to be the most exploitative of the fucking lot. They supplanted EA in that position a couple of years ago, and Shadow of War is the worst extreme so far of everything they've been doing. That's the culmination of the nasty, horrible little influence they've had on the game industry. And I love how not only is this game doubling down, well, infinitying down on how much money it's going to make from customers with Shadow of War, because not only are they paying the $60 up front, not only are they potentially paying for season passes and collector's editions and all that shite, not only are they paying for that, but they have these microtransactions to try and get the whales and the minnows spending indefinitely. Not only have they done all that, but they've taken it. They've actually taken the fee-to-pay economy and turned that into advertising for themselves by entering into this fucking sponsorship deal with Totino's to make money off of your money-making scheme, outside of the money-making scheme. That is a level of almost impressive greed. It's ingenious in a really, really slimy way. Put an unwanted in-game currency into your game, and then offer that in-game currency in fucking shitty little pizzas. Shadow of War over the past few weeks has quickly become this year's Evolve, that AAA game that perfectly typifies and exemplifies something drastically, god-awfully, fuck-McShittily wrong with the big-budget game industry. Although I really should stop saying big budget, because as we discussed on the last Jimquisition, budget and AAA mentality are different things. And if you want to see what being steeped and soaked in the culture of AAA is like, and how it can mutate an experience, then look no further than Shadow of War. A game that's gone all in on those AAA accoutrements that seem to appear as if on a checklist, something that publishers have to do for every fucking game they do now. At least every big game they do now. Because these microtransactions, despite being there because making games is so expensive, they only ever appear in the games that guarantee to be massive sellers, because they're not going to risk people not buying games that aren't massive sellers by putting shitty, horrible, unpopular microtransactions in them. And it's things like this Totino's thing, that makes me really, really not sympathetic to that argument that making games is so expensive. They need the money's got to come from somewhere because it's not coming from the point of sale for some reason. These fucking companies sitting on their offshore bank accounts full of untaxed money, entering into these big fucking sponsorship deals with other companies who are also likely sitting on offshore fucking bank accounts full of untaxed money, all of them pleading poverty, all of them saying that the contemptuous behaviour they indulge in is necessary because they've got to make money somehow, all of them trading money between each other like they're snowballing cum, and we're supposed to believe that they're strapped for cash. They're fisting each other with handfuls of cash, but we're supposed to feel sorry for them and be understanding. They have to do this. They have to do this because making games is so expensive. Warner Brothers is just too poor to do the business it's in business to do. And don't give me that. Games still cost $60. They've always been $60. They've not risen with inflation. Games don't cost $60 anymore. Not the same games we used to buy. Okay? I'm not buying that shit either. Full games used to cost $60. Full games now don't. Not in the AAA space with the season passes and the DLC and the pre-orders and all of that shit. And the Digital Deluxe editions, let's not forget those. You look at Star Wars Battlefront. That wasn't a full game. A full game was that plus the season pass, which was like $50 or so. The true cost of that game absolutely was not $60 fucking dollars, mate. And the same can be said for Shadow of War, because of course that's got a season pass as well. Of course that's going to have a bunch of DLC as well. If you want the full game, you're paying more than $60. That's how the AAA game industry works now. Tiered pricing has come back, but not in a good way. Anyway, I'm sure a lot of these arguments are going to come up in future Jimquisitions. I know at some point I want to talk about microtransaction propaganda, all of the excuses that the game industry has slimed out of its lips, trying to defend all this recent shite. I want to dedicate an episode purely to the argument of it's just cosmetic as well, because despite me slapping that argument down many times, it always bloody comes up. This Totino's thing isn't exactly Jimquisition worthy, but it's good to have on a ledger. It's good to have down recorded as another bit of industry bullshit that's gone on. I especially like it when these cross-promotional campaigns happen, like when Nathan Drake had his taste for adventure with Subway. At the same time, Naughty Dog was pleading poverty, saying it needed an online pass because they weren't making enough money doing the business that they're in business to do, like Warner Brothers. I think that was the company that said outright, we need to make money somehow. And not once did they think, maybe our business model is fucked up if we're not making money doing the thing that we're supposed to make money doing. Anyway, the next time someone from Warner Brothers or Monolith defends Shadow of War, some insipid little business practice that's wormed its way into the system, ask them where their fucking pizza money went.